D. The forest held its breath, a profound silence settling over the ancient trees as if they knew a pivotal moment was upon them. In the heart of this stillness, a man named Beast Drakwyn stood before a weathered stone, an artifact pulsating with forgotten power. His hand, trembling slightly, reached out. As his fingertips made contact with the cold, rough surface, Sympian, ancient symbols etched into the rock began to glow with an ethereal light. A wolf, a dragon, a phoenix. Each symbol pulsed in perfect rhythm with his own frantic heartbeat, a deep, resonant thrum that seemed to shake the very ground he stood upon. It was a connection, a pact made in a time before memory, and Drakwyn was its inheritor. The moment of contact sent a jolt through him, not of electricity, but of pure, untamed magic. A fire ignited deep within his chest, a sensation far more intense than any physical heat. It was the fire of creation, of transformation, and it surged through his veins like molten gold. Beneath his skin, something shifted, a horrifying and exhilarating ripple. 2. The familiar contours of his human form began to buckle and change. Scales, iridescent and hard as diamonds, erupted along his arms and back, shimmering with the colors of a twilight sky. A scream tore from his throat, but it was no longer human. It started as a guttural howl, the sound of a lone wolf calling to its pack across a frozen tundra. Shriek! Then it deepened, transforming into the earth-shattering roar of a dragon, a sound that echoed with primordial fury and dominion. Finally, it softened, resolving into a melodic, haunting song, the cry of a phoenix, a melody of death and rebirth woven into a single, impossible note. Fear. The sound itself was a paradox, a beautiful, terrifying testament to the change racking his body. He was being unmade and remade all at once. The transformation reached its crescendo. From his back, wings unfurled with a sound like a thunderclap ripping through silk. They were vast, feathered creations, each plume a tapestry of shadow and starlight. Their edges were tipped in living flame, casting a flickering, hypnotic glow on the forest floor. They were the wings of a phoenix, ready to carry him into the heavens. His hands and feet contorted, bones cracking and reforming. Sharp, obsidian claws, long and curved like a dragon's, tore through his boots and dug deep into the rich soil, leaving trails of smoldering emberlight in their wake. The scent of ozone and burnt earth filled the air. He was no longer a man. The person known as Beast Drakwyn was gone, consumed by the inferno of his own becoming. In his place stood a new being, a creature of myth and legend brought to life. He was Wolf, embodied in the primal instinct that now guided him, the keen senses that tasted the air, the powerful, lupin grace in his stance. He was Dragon, present in the impenetrable scales that armored his new form, the formidable strength coiled in his muscles, and the raw elemental power that crackled around him like static electricity. And he was Phoenix, visible in the magnificent fire-tipped wings that promised flight and resurrection, and in the ancient wisdom that now settled in his mind, a knowledge as old as the stars themselves. He was all of them, and none of them, a singular existence that defied all known laws of nature. As he stood there, a being reborn, the magical stony codex of the ancients pulsed with a final, brilliant flash of light. Words, not of sound, but of pure thought, echoed in the chamber of his new mind. They were a prophecy, a warning, and a revelation. He is not the flame, the codex whispered into his consciousness. He is the breath before it. The words settled, their meaning profound. He was the potential, the catalyst, the quiet intake of air before the world-changing inferno. The prophecy, however, did not end there. A final, chilling phrase followed, sealing his destiny. But breath becomes fire. It was an inevitability. The quiet potential was destined to erupt. The man was gone, the beast had awakened, and his story was just beginning. The forest itself seemed to tremble in awe and fear of what it had just witnessed. The hidden chamber where the transformation took place glowed with a residual, otherworldly energy, a beacon in the deep woods. And in its center stood Beast, a creature of legend, myth made manifest. His transformation was complete. He was a living paradox, a trinity of power contained in a single form, standing on the precipice of a new era. The breath had been drawn. Now, the world would wait for the fire. If you were captivated by this transformation and need to know what happens next, you can find the complete story. Search for Wolf Dragon Beast 1 on Amazon to continue the epic journey and discover the fate of the man who became a myth. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible stories.